Neither in the cockpit nor in life, everything always runs according our plans, no matter how good the plan is. Pilots call these moments decision points. Imagine you are up there in 13 kilometers above ground, and something is not running according to your plan. Well, I mean, what can you do? You cannot just pull off the road, stop the engine, and talk it over, right? I mean, up there, you have to accept the situation as it is. You have to take responsibility for the situation. And taking responsibility eventually always means to make a decision. And today, I will open my cockpit door for you. It is my pleasure to share some of my insights in terms of leadership above the clouds. And one of the first and maybe most important lessons you learn when becoming a pilot in terms of decision points is whenever you face a decision point, you have to accept that, yes, sometimes you will make a wrong decision. Whenever we leave our comfort zone, whenever we leave our routines, we make mistakes. Many people believe that flying nowadays is so safe because pilots in the cockpit don't make mistakes. Or here's my favorite, because the autopilot is flying anyway. I can tell you for the real challenges, there is no such autopilot. Not in your world and not in mine. And the recent study has shown that in average, in these very demanding phases of flight, takeoff, approach, landing, in average, every 4 minutes, one of the pilots makes a mistake. Was that too much information? From now on, whenever you get onto an airplane, you will think of me now. Isn't that great? We talk about tiny little mistakes, right? Not like press the wrong button, activated crash mode, not that kind of mistakes, okay? And here's the good news. I have good news. Every single second that I'm standing here talking to you amazing crowd, every single second, somewhere in the world, a passenger airplane lands safely. Every second. So that gives us an idea, right, of how incredibly safe flying really is nowadays. Even though, believe it or not, pilots make mistakes. And even if we look at these very few events over the last decades, when really something happened in aviation, what do you think? What was the reason? Was it because the pilots made the one bad decision? Or was it because the pilots made no decision? A bad decision is always better than no decision. Always. The problem is never the mistake itself, it is the way we deal with mistakes. The problem is never the error, it is a chain of errors. Because no one is doing something. No one speaks up to the mistake. Or if someone does, no one cares. Even the most experienced pilot in the cockpit makes mistakes. There is nothing we can do about it. But this is not the issue. Because when we talk about this chain of errors, like a domino effect, right? We're not talking about the individual anymore. Now we are talking about the failure of an entire team. And see, that is something we can change. If there's one thing that we learned in aviation, teams don't fail on the challenge. Teams never fail on the decision point. Teams fail on themselves. Teams fail on distance of power, steep hierarchies. Teams fail on statements like, well, we always did it like that. Errors are human. Chain of errors are deadly. So make sure you have people on board telling you what you need to know, not what you want to hear.